A nurse lied to about what procedure she was walking into. It was a 6-month gestational abortion. At a time when our healthcare professionals are being praised for being on the front lines of the battle against COVID-19, they're being forced into performing abortions. At the American Center for Law and Justice, we are a pro-life organization and we are committed to defending life. But one of the issues we're also focused on within that battle for life is the conscience protections that medical professionals have protected under law. It's actually a law called the Church Amendment, which protects all medical professionals, so nurses, doctors, those who work in the hospitals, that they have moral and conscience objections to performing a certain procedure, they can opt out of being part of that procedure. So that, of course, would include abortion. The law's been on the books since the 1970s, so this is not something new, but it had no teeth. It was something that, again, you could file that there was a violation, but what would be done next? What's the next step? Well, the Trump administration at the HHS, Department of Health and Human Services, has given teeth, as we'd call it in the legal world, to the law. So they've actually developed an office within HHS that deals with these specific issues and handling them, a complaint process for medical professionals. We talked about before a nurse in Vermont who was hoodwinked, lied to about performing an abortion. So they told her there was a miscarriage, unfortunate situation, but as a nurse, she has to, she could deal with that. That wouldn't violate her moral or religious objections to the procedure to move forward. She finds out when she gets in the room, it's an abortion. We now have 3 new issues. One, a nurse, 40 years experience, is told if you even talk to people at the hospital and tell them that you're pro-life, you can lose your job. We have another medical professional, because now that these hospitals are starting to realize this isn't just a law that exists, but it has an enforcement mechanism now. So what's happened here? So in this situation, the person was asked to sign a form that says, hey, you can opt out, but here's all the exceptions. And the exceptions are so broad that you'd never be able to opt out if you agreed to this. And of course, you can't be forced to agree to something that violates the law in the United States. In the most egregious example, you had a late term or close to, depending on how you would define it. And the nurse was told to come in, that it was told about that this was a miscarriage. You see that kind of theme running through here. We've seen that happen in Vermont. We're now seeing it again. And she realized she's now walking into an abortion procedure happening in the 6 months of gestation. And she's talking about just the horrors that she's faced dealing with seeing this child laid out on a table. And at a time when you have people going outside at certain parts of the day in cities that are even still maybe closed while you're watching this, like New York, and applauding medical professionals, every evening, someone's got to be standing with them, that their rights protected by laws are not being abused. Visit ACLJ.org to stand with us as we fight for life. We hope you enjoyed watching that video. If you want to see more of our content and content like that, check it out right here. If you want to take your involvement to the next level, join the fight. Click on Join the Fight right now, and you can take your involvement with our work to the next level.